Good evening, everybody. This is a recording of the wedding of Jane Esther Goldman to Donald Silverberg. It is being held at the Sereno Hotel here in St. Petersburg on November the 28th, 1953. This wedding climaxes a month or more of gay celebration for the bride-elect and for the groom. Numerous parties and celebrations have been held for them, and this is their night. The wedding is being held in the ballroom of the Sereno Hotel in a beautifully decorated room. At the front of the room is a green altar covered with floral decorations, and in the back is a set of silver candelabra and a silver cup. Leading to the pulpit is a white streamer extending back into the serving area. The chairs are all arranged facing forward at an angle and are all white leather trim. The ushers here tonight are in white tinted jackets and dark trousers, summer tux, and the girls, of course, look very, very beautiful in their evening attire. In the background now you can hear the prelude to the ceremony with the ensemble and the vocalist. In just a few minutes the wedding processional will begin.
Bind me as a seal upon thine arm, as a seal upon thy heart, for love is strong as death. Many waters cannot quench love, nor floods devour it, and I shall betroth thee unto me forever and ever. Dear Donald and Jane, your marriage is doubly blessed. You will have before you not only the fulfillment of all of your love and affection through the many years ahead, you have also the additional blessing of the union of your two families in the true tradition of Israel, which have been in the vanguard and leadership in our community for all that our faith holds true. Our scriptures tell us it is not good for one to dwell alone. Lo tov heyot ha'adam levado. And so the miracle, greater than the miracle of the Red Sea's parting, is yours in your being joined at this time in the union that is most sacred to all humanity. May that miracle and that mystery ever consecrate your love and bind you together in deep understanding, in unselfishness, in true trust and mutual consecration, in patience and in forbearance, in all that makes for common faith in one another. Give all to one another, deny each other nothing, for love is not love which alteration finds. Be true to love, and love will ever be true unto you. Our sages tell us that the word for husband, ish, and the word for wife, isha, derive from a common source, ish, the flame, fire. If your love remain consecrated in the great communion that you shall share, the Yod of Ish and the Hey of Isha shall join and spell out the word for the presence of the divine Shekhinah, Adonai. But if there ever come distrust, division, then the Yod and the Hey will disappear, and all that is left will be consuming fire. May your love ever be a flame symbolized by our Ner Tamid, the light eternal of our faith. Donald, may Jane ever be for you as a shining lamp to brighten your way through all of the years ahead. Jane, may Donald ever be for you a strong fortress, a bulwark, a safe harbor against the storms and vicissitudes, the turmoil and the tribulation which all life shares. Together may you build a home that shall be not only a place for friends and family, but may it also become an altar and a shrine in our community, fulfilling therein the high ideals of our faith, so that all who enter in time will find truth and beauty and goodness in what you share. And now, Donald and Jane, I bid you enter into the bond of matrimony, which is an honorable estate, not to be taken lightly, nor with indifference, but with reverence, with dedication, with discretion, with all that is within you, fulfilling the hope and faith of our people. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagofen. Blessed art thou, our heavenly Father, who bringest forth on the earth the fruit of the vine. As together you have partaken of this cup, so may you, under God's guidance, in perfect union and devotion to each other, draw contentment, comfort, and felicity from the cup of life, and thereby may you find life's joys doubly gladdened, its bitterness sweetened, and all things hallowed by true companionship in love. Together you will partake in the years ahead the bitter and the sweet, the rue and the fine, darkness and light, pain and felicity, but in sharing together your love will be fulfilled. And now, Donald, do you of your own free will and consent take Jane to be your wife, and do you promise to love, honor, and cherish her throughout life, in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, cleaving only unto her, on as long as you both do live? If so, answer yes.
Yes.
And Jamie, you of your own free will and consent take Donald to be your husband, and do you promise to love, honor, and cherish him throughout life, in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, cleaving only to him throughout both your lives? If so, answer yes.
Yes.
The ring, please. And now, Don, place this ring upon the finger of your bride as token of wedlock, and repeat the words which I now say. Be thou consecrated.
Be thou consecrated
unto me
unto me
with this ring
with this ring
as my wife,
as my wife,
according to the faith
according to the faith
of Israel.
of Israel.
Arayat,
Arayat,
Makadasheth li,
Makadashis li,
Batavat zu,
Batavat su,
Kadas Moshe,
Gadash Moshe,
Yisroel.
the Yisrael.
And you, Jane, place this ring upon your groom's finger as token of wedlock, and repeat these words: Be thou consecrated
Be thou consecrated
unto me
unto me
with this ring
with this ring
as my husband,
as my husband,
according to the faith
according to the faith
of Israel.
of Israel.
As by these rings you symbolize your marriage bond, may their meaning sink into your hearts and bind your lives together by devotion and faithfulness to one another in mutual self-consecration and an ever-deepening love for one another. May you establish a true home in Israel, filled with the spirit of faith and of God. Praised be thou, God, who sanctifies thy children by the holy covenant of marriage. Baruch ato Adonai, Mekadesh Amo Yisrael al Kedushim. And now that you have spoken the words and performed the rites which unite your lives, I do hereby, in conformity with the faith of Israel and the laws of our state, declare your marriage to be valid and binding, and I pronounce you, Donald Silverberg and Jane Goldman, to be husband and wife before God and man. May I, Heavenly Father, be nigh unto you and shelter you beneath his wing against all the vicissitudes of life. May he satisfy you with long life, with health, and with happiness. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Lord bless thee and keep thee. Yoeh Adonai panov elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And now, in the tradition of our fathers, we present this glass in memory of the holy city, Jerusalem. May it ever be, as it is broken, a symbol of undying love, a symbol of the everlasting faith which shall bind you together now and forevermore. Mazel tov.
Jane and Don, while you started on your honeymoon, I know you didn't get to see the Sunday morning copy of the St. Petersburg Times, so I'd like to read you what was written about your wonderful wedding. The heading was, Jane Goldman, Donald Silverberg Speak Vows, and accompanying this article was a picture of Jane, a full-length picture in her wedding gown. A double ring ceremony last night at 8:30 o'clock in the ballroom of the Sereno Hotel united in marriage Miss Jane Esther Goldman, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Edward Goldman, 1205 22nd Avenue North, and Donald Allen Silverberg, son of Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Silverberg, 520 28th Avenue North. An altar was formed by a raised platform at one end of the room, and palms, greenery, and 7-branch candelabra were used as a background for the traditional wedding canopy, an arch decorated with greenery and white chrysanthemums. Tall, standard baskets of white gladiola and chrysanthemums were arranged about the room, and a white oilcloth covered the center aisle. Tiny nosegays were tied in satin rosettes to mark the family rows. The ceremony was performed by Rabbi Albert A. Michaels. A program of nuptial music was presented by a trio composed of Mrs. Bertha Mitchell at the piano, Hugo Ferraro cello, and Mrs. Frances Stone violin. William Morgan was soloist. The bride, given in marriage by her father, wore a gown of imported Prince's Chantilly lace over layers of tulle and slipper satin. The basque bodice was styled with an oval neckline, pleated with seed pearls and banded with fluted tulle. The full gathered skirt, pleated in seed pearls, ended in a chapel-length train. Her fingertip veil of imported French illusion fell from a Mary Queen of Scots cap of lace trimmed with baby seed pearl. Her only jewelry was a strand of pearls, and her flowers were a cascade of white orchids, lilies of the valley, and stephanotis trimmed with French illusion and a shower of satin streamers, tied in a double lover's knot and centered with a large white orchid. Mrs. Henry Silverberg, sister-in-law of the bridegroom, was matron of honor. She wore a gown of aqua nylon net over taffeta styled with bouffant skirt fashioned with petal effect overskirt. The fitted bodice featured a pleated cowl accented with shaded matching hyacinths, and she wore a poof of net covering her shoulders.